of Education. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I will look for a motion to approve our agenda. Greg?
I move that we approve tonight's agenda with the human capital addendum.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, and we have a second from Namal. So a motion from Greg and a second from Namal. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposition, same sign? And that motion passes 9-0. We do not have anyone signed up this evening to speak with us. We're going to move into our reports. And Laura Christensen has sent Michelle Strand to be here with us this evening. Welcome.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Michelle Strand, and I teach physics and AP Physics at South High School. This is my 33rd year of teaching. I am an active part of the FEA. I am the high school rep on the board of directors for FEA. I'm also the large school K-12 director on the ND United board of directors. And I'm here tonight to uplift this district's most precious resource, teachers. Since talking about all the amazing things teachers are doing in this district would take days, I'm going to focus on a couple of things that you may not be familiar with. National Board Certification is one of them. It's a rigorous process reflecting on your professional development, teaching practices, and their effect on student learning. It is actually Team National Board Certification Teacher Week, and some of the values of National Board Certification are listed there. There is number 5, district and state offer yearly stipends to National Board Certified teachers, and state waives the credit requirement for license renewal for National Board Certified teachers. And we have 6 in the Fargo district. So I wanted to highlight these individuals. They have this is an incredibly intense process. And so they should be definitely celebrated. Having said that, West Fargo has 39 teachers. They have had a teacher at Cheyenne High School who's really pushed and really helped teachers to become National Board Certified. And so I have become a National Board ambassador, and I have met with Leanne and Joelle, and we are having a meeting for any teachers interested on March 10th after school at South, in hopes of interesting some teachers in learning about the process and perhaps starting the journey on their own to become National Board Certified. Any questions on National Board? Okay. For me, National Board Certification was just a start. I was first National Board Certified in 2014 and just recently renewed my National Board. What followed my first National Board Certification was I had a Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching, and I was selected as an Albert Einstein Distinguished Educator Fellow, the only North Dakota teacher ever selected in the 34 years of the program, where I was privileged to work in a congressional office on Capitol Hill on national education policy. I can attribute a lot of that to my starting the National Board process, because I self-reflected on my practices and it just made me want to do more. Amazing teachers are always looking for ways to improve student learning, and that's what led me to the Modern Classroom Project in my physics and AP Physics classes. It allows differentiated instruction for students while giving those students ownership in their own learning. And students at all levels in my classroom have a chance to experience success. So the idea behind Modern Classroom is it's a mastery-based system. So in my physics classes, I did jump in with EBR because it fit well there. The lectures are now in video form, so students can access them at any time and can watch them as many times as they want, can slow it down. before they go to the videos, we do a notes preview. So they have some idea of what they're going to be watching. And then assignments are in categories of must do, should do, and aspire to do. Kind of think it as level 2, level 3, and level 4. And that has been an amazing way for me to differentiate in my classroom. I feel like I'm trying to push as many kids as possible to take physics. And so I get some of the ones who struggle a little bit more with the math and some that are really high with the math. And having those levels where they can choose allows them to choose their comfort level. And one of the things that I have found, just a success story that it still gets me, had a student who was really struggling with a concept, a learning target, and she came up to me and said, well, I think I'm ready to take the exit ticket, but I don't feel very confident in what I'm doing. Can I try a level 2? So she tried a level 2 exit ticket. She worked on it for like 10 minutes and she came back up. She said, I just don't understand this. So I said, let's sit down. We sat down. I walked it through it with her and said, so now if you want, you can take a level 2, just a different version. She did, nailed it. Can I take a level 3? I said, well, it's a different motion graph. It might be harder. I think I can do that. Nailed it. Can I try a level 4? So in that 15 minutes, she went from feeling defeated to feeling celebrated. And that's the power of what can happen with this modern classroom project. So I do focus on the mastery. The students have somewhat of a chance to do things at their own pace. We all take the test at the same time, but within that, they've got some flexibility. And the benefits, they work together with their classmates. It's a collaborative environment, and it's something that I have really enjoyed. And it's allowed me in my AP classes to teach. I have AP Physics C, Electricity and Magnetism in the same class, same period as my APC Mechanics kids, and I can teach both in the same class in the same period with this method. It's worked really quite well. And we are trying to spread the word. So we've got the instructional coaches at South and North on board with offering an NDSU credit. We're going to do an informational meeting here next week for any teachers that are interested. And then I can't leave without talking just for a moment about the boat, the cardboard boat regatta. So those of you that were here last year know that my big project in physics is the cardboard boat regatta. And we made the front page of the forum the last 2 years. So this was the very first year that we did it. Students, we talk about how to float a boat, and then they have to, in groups, they have to design and build a boat out of cardboard, sealed with duct tape and latex paint. They have to have a theme and come in costume. And it's been a great celebration for South High and for a positive experience in the South Pool. So this was last year, the front page of the forum. Just some pictures of students during the race. Knowing how to paddle is kind of a prerequisite. And this poor young lady had no idea how to paddle. And she went in circles and circles and circles and eventually made her way. And this was one of my favorite awards, is the Titanic Award for the most spectacular sinking. I always tell students, if you're going to go down, make it pretty. So I want to invite all of you to our third annual Cardboard Boat Regatta, March 25th, from 5 to 6:30. I'm hoping that we're going to do kind of a parade of boats starting at 5 o'clock through the gym into the pool area, just so everybody can see, because the pool gets pretty packed. So warning, I just want you to come and see physics in action, and Fargo Public Schools students enjoying learning. At the end of the day, Fargo Public Schools has a huge, too often untapped wealth of knowledge in its teachers. As this district looks to cut costs, the best thing this district can do is leverage the knowledge of the outstanding group of teacher leaders that we have here in Fargo Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate all that information. Kind of helps ground us in why we're here and what we're doing, I think, as we move on. Okay, so next I'll turn over to Dr. Steiner for the admin report.
Thank you. I will say Michelle had an amazing administrator hire her in West Fargo many years ago. And that was me. So that's maybe. So for my report, some celebrations. Melissa Utes, who is Explorer Academy teacher, recently got a $5,000 grant for teaching America 250, and she's going to do a colonial experience with authentic food and a bunch of different experiences for the kids at EA. Longfellow was recently recognized as being in the top 10% of all public schools in North Dakota for our accountability metrics. So congratulations to them. We had our first semester VA graduation with 9 students who walked, I think 14 that graduated, right around there. Wonderful, wonderful ceremony. Holly and Vanessa really did just a great job. In DPI's weekly report out, they listed the top 5 large districts for Choice Ready. They also have the top smaller districts. It is different, certainly, because you might be talking about a school with 4 or 5 kids in the senior year, and it's a little easier sometimes to get those kids to that level. We had the 3rd and 4th place schools in that. 79.5% of the kids at Fargo North was 3rd%, and at Davies, they were 4th at 79.49. So Mr. Safransky said they will get that 0.01 next year to overtake North. And the top score was Wofford City, 82.61. So really close, and it's something new that they've released out. So very great job by our high schools. Today, this was really recent, the USDA and Department of Agriculture came to our central office processing food. Yeah. And so they're checking financial records, ordering records, cleanliness, and there were absolutely no violations, no things for improvement. And they said that they actually were doing a wonderful job, and it was excellent in their cleanliness, and just said really, really amazing work for Cindy and her team there. Very rarely do you get them in where you don't have at least some things that you need to correct or have fixed. So great job there. Last Friday, had a really cool experience at Minnesota State University in Moorhead. They made the public announcement that students that graduate from Fargo Public Schools and West Fargo Public Schools with a GPA of 3.0 or higher will now get the North Dakota State Scholarship of $6,000 over their 4 years, so $1,500 a year. It's kind of our first step in what we think could be many partnerships with MSUM. They also opened up, they have a competition day which gives out about $1 million in scholarships, and they've reserved spots for our students in there as well, which was actually a short turnaround. It's this Friday. But again, they approached us and just said, hey, we'd like to have a conversation about some partnerships. And we honestly really had no idea. And then when they came in and said that, it was the easy button moment of, like, we didn't want to jump up and down and say yes right away. We made them wait for like about 3 minutes and said absolutely. So just another great opportunity for our kids who may be considering that college pathway. For a couple other updates, we have our Thursday, our alternative pathway meeting. We are continuing to work on middle school and high school pathways for kids, which is the idea of building flexible schedules for kids, giving them the opportunity maybe to take online coursework, get into the workforce, find ways to articulate credit within the rules, but in a way that's meaningful for those students that may be a little bit disengaged from our system. So we're working on that. It's funny Michelle mentioned that. I met with Modern Classroom Project last week. And I have a recommendation or a proposal from them. We're going to try to get, I wanted to get 5 or 6 people, so I put that date on my calendar because I'll come over during that. Trying to get 5 or 6 people to do that. And ultimately, it's a very much a personalized competency-based learning approach, so it's near and dear to my heart. And it's very well organized in how they put that together. So met with them. Continuing listening sessions for our Portrait of a Graduate. Have Fargo South this week. That will complete all of our secondary high schools. And then we will start middle school the first week of February. We also did a similar activity with the elementary work group today, as they gave us some feedback for those two. So continuing to move forward, and we should have that ready to go as the year draws closer to the end. Meet with Sanford on Friday this week. Again, continuing that conversation of a potential on-site clinic, and just seeing what that could look like. Also been working with Dr. Slavic for the strategic plan work. She connected me with a superintendent in Illinois, Hank Thiele, and I'm going to meet with him. And he's just going to kind of share how that worked and how they narrowed their priorities and narrowed their focus to be really, really great at just a few things. And I just asked him if he'd kind of walk me through that. And then last week I had put in your weekly update. We had people at the district office engage in a self-assessment, and it was a district assessment, and they had 3 areas that they said we need to focus on. One, it was clear we don't have really strong succession plans for people, that we're still operating in some isolation, so we need to work on that. There was a disconnect, that there were departments and groups that were doing really good work but not sharing it with the other groups, and that we need to find a way to kind of get the communication more streamlined. And then the other part they said is there's too many things, because they said every day you should be focusing on the most important thing that you're doing for a half hour, and there wasn't one person who said that they have the ability to do that, nor that they necessarily could identify that one thing. So I think it's all timely and going to be very good for us as we rework our strategic plan. So those are the big things.
Okay, thank you very much for those updates. Next, I will look for a motion to approve our consent agenda. Okay, Nikki?
I move that we accept the consent agenda along with the human capital addendum placed at our seats.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Nikki and a second from Jason. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposition, same sign. And that motion passes 9-0. We are now at our business section, which only has one item, memo number 72, and that comes to us from the Planning Committee. So Greg Clark, do you want to walk us through this?
Sure, not a whole lot to walk through, unless we really need to have some lengthy discussion, which we're always open to. It's board compensation. This doesn't change. It has not changed since it's been a while. Planning did have a brief discussion on the topic, and our recommendation is as follows in a motion. So I'll move that the Board of Education compensation remain at $1,000 per month per board member.
Second.
Who said that? Kristen? Okay, we have a motion from Greg and a second from Kristen. Any discussion on this? No? Oh, yes, Robin?
So Greg, the compensation has not changed since January 1st of 2009. Is that correct? Yes, it's okay. It was rescinded. I should know because I was here. But okay, I just want to say that out loud. Thank you.
Yeah, I have no reason to doubt that the date on there is correct. So yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, Anne Marie, can you call the roll, please?
Jason Nelson,
Yes.
Kristen Nelson,
Yes.
Robin Nelson,
Yes.
Olenberger,
Yes.
Berkland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
Gullickson,
Yes.
Christensen Meineer.
Yes, and that motion passes 9-0. We have now come to our board reports. Can I start with you, Robin? Or
Sure. Watched the special legislative session closely. I did report out the details as quickly as I could to all of you. Hopefully those updates were informative. And then I just joined my other committee meetings. So that is all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Greg?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Melissa?
Yeah, so Dr. Steiner and I had our one-on-one last Thursday, and then President Christensen, Haugen Christensen, and Jim Erlacher and Dr. Steiner and I also had our ongoing negotiations mini committee check-ins. And I had a meeting, a pretty informal meeting with Michelle Strand, and we talked a lot about what she went over, and it was really neat to see her classroom. And there's just a lot of energy, and it's great to be at South too. And then I also attended the North Side Band concert last night, and that's always a treat.
Thank you. Kristen?
I was able to attend the Legacy Children's Foundation fundraiser last week. But other than that, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Allie, do you have an update for us to share?
Yes, so I was able to visit Lewis and Clark, which is one of my liaison schools, last Friday. It was great to be able to check out the building and see the kids in action, as well as our fantastic teachers, and it was just a great visit. And I also was in attendance to the Northside Band concert last night. That was my first one as a parent, and it was just amazing to see all of those wonderful musicians and the way that they have those, like, the whole thing set up is it's just really awesome. And it was a great night filled with Disney music, and that is all I have for my report.
Thanks. You two are making my heart ache that I don't have any kids there anymore. It's like, stop
You
it.
can come cheer ours on, Katie.
I know, I
It's fine.
should. Jason?
Just attended my committee meetings, nothing else.
Thank you. Namal? Mike, please. Thanks.
It's fun sometime. So we attended the CEA. I did, let me just say me. And then also too, I had an incredible time at the Virgil Academy graduations. Congratulations to them. What a meaningful milestone to be part of it. It was so special to see students who worked so hard online finally work across the stage. Celebrate in person, share their moment with their family and teacher. The ceremony felt warm, proud, and full of hope. It was clear how much effort and dedication went into making it a memorable experience for everyone involved. Being there with you all, it even made me joyful and personal. And then also too, just my son was there with me because his sister couldn't get off from work, and the lady that was supposed to see him was not feeling well. So that being said, I just totally had fun, and he does not like people that much, so he kind of screamed a little bit. So sorry about that. And then also too, I'm just on the scheduling with my liaison schools, and I can't wait to hear from them. I'm excited about that piece. And then also too, on the side, I've been working with a student from different school regarding tobacco prevention and how important it is to say no to peer pressure. So they had a lot of fun. Every time there's around like 15 students to 20 students that I get to present to them. And I just thought this is so wonderful. And also too, I kind of know that our Fargo Public School does that too as well. So it was fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Namal. Nikki?
Thank you. Yes, congratulations to all the Virtual Academy students who walked across the stage. I had plans to come up until the very last minute, and then I couldn't get there. So, yeah, they do a wonderful job. That's a fantastic program. All right, I attended the COSBA workshop, which contained the results of the National Parent Poll. I attended my liaison school, which was a lot of fun. It was Centennial Elementary, and all three of my kids went through there. So it was really fun to be back in the building and kind of reliving. It was deja vu when I hit the buzzer to have to go in. But I spent a good deal of time there and got to visit with many people. Several wonderful teachers are still there. There are many that have retired now and been replaced by other amazing teachers. Lots of changes there, but a lot of good things happening. I think we're going to be hearing some more from them as the years go by. And I was invited back to see some of their meetings for their MTSSB and MTSSA. So I'm excited about doing that. January 23rd, CEA met, and the two highlights from our meeting is we are working on a video/script with Anne Marie's team. I think it's important to mention, one of the things we get a lot of inquiries on is who's going to get back to me, or I sent an email into the board, I haven't heard back, who's going to respond, that kind of thing. So everything is really already out there, but we're going to make another option. We're going to have a video that people can watch because not everybody will respond every time. So watch for that to be coming mid to later, probably this year. Just kind of explaining the process so that people that are concerned have another reference point just to take a look at. And then the other exciting thing, Anne Marie shared with us how the History Harvest events went at Horace Mann and Madison. As the spring goes along and as more events come along, we're trying to retain that history as best as we can. And maybe a side note, because this is interesting, I did not know this. Dr. Steiner shared, and somebody else shared, that there are books with wooden covers in Horace Mann.
Oh.
And so I think that's something, and we are going to retain them. I don't want anybody to get scared, but it might be worth taking a look into. I had no idea, and it sounds absolutely fascinating. So to share that for the good of the order. Then it was the GAC committee, and then today I was invited by a friend through National PTA. She is in Delaware, and it's called First State Educate, and I was their guest on their podcast to speak about school board service, what it's like, what's important, how the board gets along, how we review policies, different things like that, because it was going to other school board members and how could they do things differently or better. And if anybody's interested in that, just let me know. They said I'd have it in a week or two, and I'd be happy to share it out. I hope it's good. They were pleased with it, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. For my report, since we met last, I had my one-on-ones with FEA President Laura Haugen Christensen and also my one-on-one with Dr. Steiner. Thursday of last week, along with Kristen, I was able to attend the Legacy Children's Foundation luncheon. I felt like I learned a lot about the organization, so if that's something you're interested in, they do those lunches frequently. And then on February 23rd, that Friday, I also attended the MSUM announcement. Dr. Steiner represented our district really well. It was a very exciting event. There was just a lot of positive energy and excitement in the room. So I'm very excited about that collaboration with West Fargo Public Schools, our school district, and MSUM. Yesterday, I was able to spend some time at ECSE with the little kids, and then also in our adult learning center. And actually, as Michelle Strand was speaking, it was some of her comments were reminding me of what I was observing while I was there, and how much of teaching is like an art and a science, and how, especially when you're watching teachers with like some of our most vulnerable students, how everything they do is calculated and intentional and so purposeful, and they make it look easy. And so you know that they're like phenomenal at their jobs when they can do that. And it looks fun. So I was just so impressed with how skilled they were in those environments. The last two things I want to share with the board is we do have our superintendent evaluation that is due to Anne Marie by Monday, February 2nd. So please make sure that that's on your radar. And then also don't forget we have a work session on Thursday, February 26th from 8:30 a.m. to noon. And so I will affirm our next meeting, which will be February 10th. It is 5:59 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned.